The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
As a mom of a 10-year-old black male in this community, when I see these things happening, I feel like our kids don't have a future. They don't have a voice.
Now at 10 on DC News Now, shock after a deadly shooting in broad daylight. We are live with the latest.
And weather-wise, it was a fantastic Thursday. As we finish out the week, our weather team now tracking severe storms about to make its way across our area tomorrow afternoon. Let's time things out coming up.
And a massive fire in Montgomery County, and tonight officials going door to door to warn people and remind them what they need to do to stay safe.
And in Northern Virginia, making temporary dining permanent. It's so important there that officials are making it easier for restaurants to qualify for licensing. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight for DC News Now at 10 on DCW 50. I'm Tasmin Mahfouz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan, and we start tonight with breaking news in the district. We now know the name of a pregnant woman killed in a double shooting in Southeast D.C. Police say 22-year-old Samya Gill and a man were in a car in the 300 block of 37th Street Southeast when the shooting happened around 11:30 this morning. Another car pulled up in the street. Two people got out with assault rifles and shot at the car, hitting Gill and the man. The two then drove several blocks north of Minnesota Avenue and Dix Street Northeast. That is where they were met by first responders.
Now, a witness to this tells us she saw the shooting as it happened, describing it as a scene out of a war movie. Now, Gill did give birth after being shot. The baby right now in critical condition, but is expected to survive.
I'm just more concerned about if the baby's going to make it.
This is a brazen act. It happened in the middle of the day.
And police say the Southeast shooting was targeted. And tonight, our Mariel Carbone is live at police headquarters.
Yeah, Mariel, people are begging anyone, and police rather are begging anyone to come forward with any information.
Yeah, and that is because police say that there were multiple community members on 37th Street when this shooting happened. Now, we went out to that Fort DuPont community this afternoon, and one neighbor who lives on that street tells me that she is heartbroken. She's devastated by all of this happening and still shaken up tonight.
I'm so heartbroken to her and her family.
Ina Christian says she's still in disbelief, knowing she won't see her neighbor, 22-year-old Samya Gill, again. She's been watching the woman's belly grow over the last few months.
Talked about how she was just so looking forward to her baby.
Now that baby will grow up without its mother. Police say Gill and a man were parked in their car along 37th Street Southeast when another car pulled up next to them. Two men jumped out with assault rifles and fired into the couple's car.
This is a brazen act. It happened in the middle of the day.
The couple then drove about 2 miles to this intersection of Minnesota and Dix Street Northeast. Their car, seen here, riddled with bullet holes. Police say the man suffered non-life-threatening injuries, but Gill did not survive. Doctors saved her baby.
Multiple shots were fired. We know that this was an isolated event.
MPD released these photos of the suspects and their car, a white four-door sedan. The shooting was all caught on camera. Police are asking anyone with information to come forward.
We do believe that you can't do something as heinous as this and the community not know something about it.
It's not safe.
Christian says shootings aren't new to the Fort DuPont neighborhood. After today, she's even more scared to call this place home.
Is there anything that can be done to make you feel safer?
Just people that are taking accountability and actually care.
And police are offering a $25,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest in this case. Reporting live from police headquarters tonight, I'm Mariel Carbone, DC News Now.
Mariel, thank you. And let's get a check on the forecast with our chief meteorologist, Janessa Webb.
Yeah, Janessa, tomorrow's a DMV first warn day.
Yeah, things have changed fairly quickly. You should be kind of used to it this week. We've been in that up and down weather pattern. Taking a live look at exactly what's happening in the Roslyn area to the left of your screen. It's a beautiful night. It doesn't look like a storm system is approaching, but it is quickly on its way across areas of Ohio at this point and West Virginia, and it will make its way in by tomorrow morning. 73 right now under mostly cloudy skies. That's the leading edge of this storm. And so you're noticing a few clouds that are starting to make its way into the region. Look at that wind shift. It's coming out of the north and east, 5 to 10 miles per hour, and those dew points. Ooh, I don't like that. You have a good amount of moisture now trying to make its way back into the DMV, back into the 50s. And so I know the dew points will hit that 60s mark tomorrow. So a little bit of mugginess is going to be in the atmosphere. What I'm excited about is the wind flow. It's trying to die down, but still Fredericksburg into the tidal basin area, 10 to 15 miles per hour. I promise you tomorrow afternoon, the winds, they're going to stir up due to this cold front and center of low pressure. We have a severe weather outbreak. It's unfolding. I've just seen just incredible photos of tornadoes ripping through areas of Texas and Oklahoma City. We do have mass casualties in that area, so very unfortunate. The problem is that same storm system is going to come and make its way across the East Coast into the DMV. Let's time things out coming up.
All right, new details tonight. Firefighters in Montgomery County, they're doing extra outreach tonight. They're making sure people have fire escape plans and smoke detectors after a busy Wednesday night when a massive fire destroyed this mansion in Potomac. It happened on Brickyard Court around 10:15. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg has been talking to neighbors in the community and fire investigators all day long. He joins us now live. And Daniel, thankfully, everyone inside did make it out safely.
Chris, there were 2 adults, 2 children, and another guest that all made it out of this mansion behind me. Right now, all that's standing are the front walls. Everything else is completely destroyed inside. Firefighters don't know the exact cause, but believe it started on the outside of the back of the house.
Okay, all units operating on the scene.
Massive flames shot up twice the height of this Potomac mansion Wednesday night, as 65 firefighters took nearly an hour to get it under control.
The firehouse is less than a mile away. They got here, they had pretty heavy fire conditions. You know, this is a big house. They had fire throughout.
Montgomery County Fire spokesperson Pete Pieringer says it started on the outside of the house, where a teenager spotted the fire on the deck.
When they were in the process of leaving, the smoke alarm started going off.
Smoke detectors, a critical tool and part of the door-to-door outreach firefighters did this afternoon.
People might have some questions on what happened here. It's also an opportunity to talk to them about safety, talk about exit plans, make sure that they are familiar with their smoke alarms.
Firefighters were also out in Tacoma Park after Peter Sansbury's basement went up in flames around 11 p.m.
Started down there, and the speed at which it came up that stairwell is just terrifying.
The cause, probably a malfunctioning light ballast. His smoke detector alerted him.
Smoke detectors are incredibly important. I'm pleased we changed the batteries with daylight saving time.
No one was injured in either fire, but at least 40 Marylanders have died in fires so far this year.
We're way ahead of pace for the average number of fire fatalities.
They don't get their jollies out of fighting fires or digging dead bodies out of them. They prefer not to be. They prefer to be out of a job. And so their prevention work's been great.
Now, Pieringer says that most of those deaths have been in older people or those with mobility issues, but he says it's very important to make sure you have an escape plan in your house and make sure that your smoke detectors are up to date. We're live in Potomac. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
And outdoor dining in Arlington was crucial for restaurants to survive during the pandemic.
Yeah, they certainly will. But a deadline now looms about whether more than 100 outdoor areas can remain. All new tonight, there is widespread support to keep those areas open. Our Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Max Marcilla has been talking to restaurant patrons and the local Chamber of Commerce about this issue tonight. He joins us live from the Clarendon neighborhood in Arlington.
Yeah, and Max, the county is considering a policy that does more than just give the okay to these businesses.
Right, not only does it make these temporary setups permanent, but it also makes the process by which these restaurants could get these setups makes them easier, quicker, and cheaper.
These tables on sidewalks became a business lifesaver for restaurants in Arlington and across the DMV.
It's like people would like to come outside, enjoy with the dogs, family, have the kids run around.
And now they could become permanent. Arlington is considering zoning changes for TOSAs, temporary outdoor seating areas. And instead of a long and expensive process of public hearings, most of these spaces will just have to apply through the county zoning office.
Restaurants often have to hire a land use attorney in order to help them navigate that process. It's just a lot of additional expense.
One problem Kate Bates with the Arlington Chamber of Commerce believes will be avoided, a potential gap between when the program is set to expire and when permanent licenses could be approved.
So we've been told by county staff that as long as restaurants are working in good faith with the county, that they won't be shut down.
Though this plan doesn't come without some concern, the chair of the Pedestrian Advisory Committee wrote a letter to the board saying it doesn't address the needs of people who walk and bike on the sidewalks. She urged its delay if that issue isn't addressed.
And another issue residents brought up that they feel was addressed was noise concerns with these outdoor dining areas and some neighborhoods. Also worth noting, we mentioned most of these TOSAs, as they're now known, will get that quicker process. The one group that will still have to go through the larger, more arduous process are restaurants that have these dining areas on public places like a community square, something like that. Reporting live in the Clarendon neighborhood of Arlington, Max Marcella, DC News Now. Back to you.